Today, I'm going to be going through and answering all of your most requested questions on gut health, hormones, fat loss, nutrition, training, what I eat in a day. This is going to be your ultimate fitness nutrition Q&A, and we're going to be diving into I'm going to start off with questions more so about fat loss, your metabolism, especially for women over 30. We're going to deep dive into how your gut can actually be the link and why you cannot lose that stubborn belly fat. And we are going to finish off with everything on intermittent fasting, hormones, nutrition, what I eat. So let's get right into it. And if you are new to following me, I'm Elizabeth with Elizabeth Ayler Fitness. I have my 4-year degree in kinesiology. I'm a strength and conditioning specialist, holistic nutritionist, and functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. And I helped over 2,000 women lose 5 to 40 pounds in just 90 days. And all of this with zero extremes and all by healing their gut. So we're going to start off with one of my top questions is why is it harder to lose fat after 30 and what's actually happening to your metabolism? So when we get toward our late 30s, mid 40s, we actually are going through perimenopause. Perimenopause is around 10 to 15 years where we're having all of these changes in our hormones. We have a drop in our estrogen, progesterone, and even growth hormones, which lowers your metabolic rate. And also, with that comes we're at a rate for increased muscle loss. We're losing muscle at a rate of 40 to 50% faster. So, when we're losing more muscle during this change in our life, it means less muscle, you're burning less calories at rest. Also, if we've done years of dieting, crazy cardio, all of those can suppress your thyroid function, which runs your metabolism. And I am going to be hitting a whole question on how to know if your thyroid is low because a lot of the doctors do not run the correct test. They will say your thyroid looks fine, but 60% of women go undiagnosed with thyroid issues. So we're going to hit that in a few minutes. And then a few other reasons why it's actually harder to lose fat after 30, stress, environmental toxins, also poor gut health, which we're going to talk about today. And all of these actually trigger your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, and insulin resistance. So when we're trying to transform our body over 30, we really want to make sure we're restoring muscle, we're getting enough protein, we're supporting our thyroid and our gut. And now let's move on to the second question. So, is intermittent fasting good or bad for women? So, this is a great question. I did intermittent fasting for so long, and a majority of women that come to me, they're on these crazy intermittent fasting schedules. And I just want to say this out there men and women are completely different. Our hormones are different, our stress is different, everything is. And if we're over 30, we're going through midlife, we're having these transitions, intermittent fasting may not be the best for us as maybe it worked for you when you were in your 20s. So I want to kind of hit some pros and some cons of it because it does have so many benefits, but it really is dependent on the individual. Intermittent fasting, it's great if we have insulin sensitivity. Sorry, I'm getting tongue tied. It's great if we have insulin sensitivity, but we want to use it strategically, not all of the time. Remember, too much of a good thing, your body's going to adapt to it and it's going to not get the results anymore. It's like if you're doing all these crazy intermittent fasting schedules every single day, you may feel good initially, start getting results, but then your metabolism adapts to it. And where do you go from there? Also, if we're over fasting, that does raise our cortisol level. It could stall your thyroid and impact your menstrual cycle. So, I do more time restrictive eating. So, I don't actually go past 12 hours. 14 would be a max for somebody so that you are getting the great benefits of fasting, but you're able to get that meal first thing in the morning, get all of your protein in to actually help lower your cortisol. Because women, I want you to think about this. Your cortisol is that stress hormone and it's highest in the morning. So if we're skipping breakfast, grabbing coffee, go doing our Orange Theory class, all of these are going to actually increase cortisol more. And then you're going to have the crash. The crash is cravings. The crash is low energy. The crash is stubborn belly fat. So intermittent fasting can be a good thing when we use it strategically. We don't want to overdo it. And if we're underweight, if we're going through, we have thyroid issues, Hashimoto's going on, those aren't the times to use it because it could increase stress on the body. If we have a lot of hormone issues, we're not sleeping good, we're not getting enough of our calories and our micronutrients, our protein, and all of that within the day, then intermittent fasting may not be the best for us. And and always just to let you guys know, like, if you can't at least get in 100 grams of protein within your eating window, then you need to open that window up a little bit. I had a client of mine, she came to me, she was training like 2 hours a day. She was even doing some, like, once a week, she would do a 48 to 72-hour fast. Her body was breaking down. She wasn't recovering from her workouts anymore, and she couldn't lose weight. She's 57 years old now. We're not doing any more intermittent fasting. She's eating more food than ever. She's shredded with six-pack abs. I'm serious. She's eating more food than ever. She has complete freedom now. And she's like, Elizabeth, my recovery is through the roof. My energy is up. I no longer have cravings. My hormones are balancing out. My body's building muscle in my late 50s. So it really is about looking at the individual, looking at our stressors, looking on how our health is, our thyroid, our hormones, our gut, all of that. And then using things strategically to help us reach our goals of whether it be weight loss, building muscle, healing your gut, balancing your hormones. Now, we're going to go into the next question. How can you boost your metabolism without adding cardio or cutting calories? I love this question. I've got a few simple tips for you to get started today. And the first one is eating more protein. So, getting around 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I do want to side preference this with, we hear it all over the internet, just eat more protein. But are you actually breaking down your protein into all the building blocks, the amino acids, and then absorbing and assimilating it? Because if you have gut issues going on, and check out my YouTube, I have a video called Your Gut is Making You Fat. Type it on my YouTube. It is so educational. If you got gut issues, you could be eating all the protein in the world, but you may not be breaking it down. You may feel like the protein's sitting heavy in your gut. So we got to fix the gut first to get the body transformation changes. Okay. The second key little how to boost your metabolism without cutting calories or adding cardio is train with resistance, whether that be, grabbing weights, cables. It could even be the reformers, Pilates reformers. When we're building muscle, we're increasing our basal metabolic rate. So you're going to be burning more calories throughout the day. And remember, if we're a woman hitting our 40s and beyond, we're losing muscle at a faster rate. So this is something we would really want to make a priority. The third one is managing blood sugar. So instead of overdoing intermittent fasting, skipping meals, allocating everything towards the end of the day, focus on balanced meals. Hit 30 grams of protein in each meal. That's going to stabilize your cortisol levels, balance the blood sugar, and help you become a fat burning machine. And then one more I want to throw in there is is prioritizing your sleep, because your sleep is actually where you make your growth hormone. Huge. If we're not sleeping, you're not going to be recovering also. So I always say train hard, recover harder. I'm right now training for a high rocks. It's like a big endurance strength competition. I'm training a lot. I'm eating a lot. But my recovery has to be on point in order to perform. So I'm getting to bed early. I'm making sure I'm tracking on my Garmin, my HRV, and my sleep and my stress, because all of those things truly impact the way you perform. And if your body's constantly run down, then think of your body, everything is breaking down and you're not giving it the recovery to build back up. You could be training hours in the gym, pushing your body, leaving so sore you can't move. But if you don't have the proper nutrition, the proper what do you call it, sleep, recovery, your stress isn't down, then you're not going to be actually recovering your best, which is when your body is actually taking all the muscle fibers that you've broken down and rebuilding them to make them stronger, to see the muscle definition come through, and to transform your body. Now, remember, we are going into gut health. We are going into hormones. I want to talk a little bit about the thyroid because this is a huge one for me. It truly impacted my health big time and my metabolism. And I actually had to fight my doctors in order to run the proper tests to actually get to the root cause. And then when they messed up my medication, I had to figure everything out. And I work with my clients with this who are Hashimoto's, who go undiagnosed and everything. So the truth is your thyroid, 95% of doctors only test your TSH and your and your T4. Your active thyroid hormones, your T3. Those could look absolutely fine, but you have underlying thyroid issues. There's a whole video on my YouTube under my hypothyroid playlist called The Tests That Doctors Don't Run. I want you to go and watch that. I take you through everything there. But some common signs that your thyroid might be slowing you down, fatigue, brittle hair, constipation, slow gut motility, gas, bloating, puffy eyes, cold hands, even irritability. Those are just a few different things. Things that slow down your thyroid is chronic low-calorie diets, chronic stress. For me, it was mold toxicity, which was a big one for me. I have clients that have been living in mold for years. They have Hashimoto's, they have MS, all these things going on, and they spent a decade trying to actually, you know, fix this with medication. And I just ran a test on one the other day, and her body's covered in mold. She's colonized in it. So she finally has answers, and now I'm helping heal her whole body from mold toxicity. We're starting with the environment and rebuilding and liver support. And she's just so happy to actually have an answer nowadays, because if you lived in Miami or Texas, those are big areas for mold, big time. But thyroid slowing you down, guys, also slowed metabolism is a big one. So go watch that video because, like I said, 60% of women go undiagnosed with thyroid issues, and the doctors don't even test the right one. So this is going to be a huge, huge thing. And then, if you want another video on this in the future, I did a whole one for my 90-day transformation program with all my clients, deep diving even into the medical model, because they put you on T4 dominant. But if our body's making more reverse T3, which is the metabolite, then doing that can actually make the reverse T3 go even higher, which can put you even in a worse place. So I had to do compounded stuff for me. So I get all sciencey with it. If you would like a video on that, drop in the comments, make a thyroid video, and I will do one for you guys as well. Now, we're going to be I want to talk a little about the gut and stubborn fat. Before I do, I created a free metabolic reset for you guys. It's a 7-question quiz. It takes less than 30 seconds to fill out. I'm going to drop it in my YouTube description for you and in the comments after this video goes live. So if you fill it out, you're going to get a personalized metabolic reset plan. Super fast, super simple to get you started today with feeling your best self and transforming your body going into 2026. But let's talk about the link between gut health and stubborn belly fat. So leaky gut, we all hear the term out there. Basically, we got our gut, we got our lining. When we got a lot of inflammation, things going on, we've been on antibiotics, chronic stress. It could be you guys were a C-section baby. There's so many different things, environmental toxins, mold, dysbiosis. All of these things wreck holes in the gut. So when we have opening in the gut linings, that's leaky gut, food can leak into the bloodstream, increasing inflammation. But that could also increase your cortisol, which is our stress hormone. And when we have more of that stress hormone and inflammation in the body, hello, visceral fat storage. Also, when we have a lot of dysbiosis, which is an imbalance of good and bad bacteria in the gut, it's going to trigger cravings. It's going to trigger blood sugar instability. I have a whole playlist on my YouTube channel called my case studies playlist, where I actually go through all my clients' case studies of how we healed them, helped them lose 5 to 40 pounds in 90 days, healing their gut. And I have clients that struggled with cravings, chronic fatigue, all of that for decades. And I get rid of it in a week by healing their gut, balancing out their hormones. So check out that playlist. But another few links between gut health and stubborn belly fat. If we have low stomach acid, that's going to lead to poor protein digestion and you're going to have more muscle loss. So we always want to fix the gut first. That helps reset the hormones and then really be working on our liver and everything, which are our major detox pathways. So I kind of take it into like a 4-step way. I focus on healing, rebuilding, refeeding, and then reintroducing with my clients. And that really gives lasting metabolism repair. And if you guys need help doing this, feel free. You can send me over the DM ready on Instagram, or I'll also put my application in the show notes. I take on a few one-on-one clients each month where I personalize everything. I teach them everything that took me over a decade to learn in just 90 days. They fly off, they do their thing, and they have all of the knowledge. And we do it in a way that's sustainable so that they don't yo-yo back and forth anymore. Now, how can you fix your gut without feeling worse? If you've ever had chronic gut issues, like I did, and you feel 6 months pregnant eating certain foods, you try probiotics, you're trying supplements, they're making you worse. It's very frustrating. You go to doctors, they run all these tests, they say you look fine, your colonoscopy's fine. I understand. I spent $20,000 going to different doctors with zero results, and I had to heal myself. So the way that I do it with my clients is I focus on 4 key phases. The first phase is going to be calming. So I look at the individual, what's going on with their body. If we have things like mast cell activation, we're having the runny nose, we're having, more allergies, our eyes get watery, red, itchy skin, then histamine could be a trigger. So I look really at the specific gut issues that my clients are having. If we have more SIBO tendency of they're having a drink in the morning, like water, and they look 6 months pregnant immediately. So, depending on that, I remove specific irritants, gluten, maybe it's dairy, processed oils, and I have our baseline. The second phase is I go into repair. I look at how can we actually, for this individual, what are our missing links causing us to have either the SIBO, having, the yeast infections, the UTIs, the histamine reactions, the bloating, the food sensitivities. And I build a specific protocol to help repair that intestinal lining and put the good things back in so that the bad guys don't come back. Now, the third phase is rebalance. And people do this wrong because they just go throw kombucha and prebiotics and probiotics at it, and then they feel more gassy and bloated. So, depending on the individual and what's going on with their body, this is where we make a targeted protocol. So, for example, if someone has mold in their body and they're colonized by it, that's going to be a different protocol as if someone has H. pylori or SIBO going on. Or if someone just has, chronic stress that's causing them to have a lot of food sensitivities, and we have to work on more of, neurofeedback and getting out of that fight or flight response. So that's where I would create that targeted protocol for my clients to address the root cause. But when you do it too soon and throw probiotics at it and have SIBO, then you're going to get more gassy and bloated and have a lot of die off and feel worse, not going to the bathroom. And if you're not pooping, you do not want to throw a protocol at it at all. And then the fourth phase is going to be restoring. This is where we really add everything back in, the minerals, the enzymes, everything to reestablish the environment so that we aren't just taking a parasite protocol, throwing things at it, saying, okay, we killed everything, we're good now. No, why did we get the parasites to begin with? Why did we get the gut issues to begin with? And like I said, everything is going to be specific to the individual. And I keep saying that because I don't want you to go online and say, I have gut issues, I have parasites, I'm going to take this. Find out if you have parasites first. Find out if you have mold. Find out what the root cause is. I'm a big fan of testing, not guessing with my clients. I'm a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. So, like I said, I ran a mold test for my clients to figure out what was going on. I stacked that with the oat test to see if we're colonized or if it's coming from our environment, because all of these things matter. You could spend years throwing hundreds and thousands of dollars on supplements and things out there and get nowhere. That's why you see my clients get results in 90 days and transform. It's because we get to the root cause, and their protocol actually is what's going on in their body to address it immediately. And again, if you need help with this, I'll put everything in the show notes for you guys where you can book a application. Through the application, you'll be able to book a call with me. Now, the next question that I want to hit is, why am I tired even though I eat clean and sleep 8 hours? So there's a few key reasons. Number one, as I mentioned earlier, is our thyroid. If we have low thyroid output, or if we're even under eating, all of those, you're going to feel very run down, very low. Minerals, you can be drinking all the water in the world, but if we're not getting our minerals in, our soil's so depleted, our diets are fast convenience foods, bars and shakes a lot of the time, and our minerals really work at a cellular level for energy production. Another reason I have clients that wake up several times throughout the night, our blood sugar. Our blood sugar can crash overnight if our diet and our carbs and everything is not balanced appropriately. Also, gut infections, they drain your mitochondria, and your mitochondria is your source of energy in your cells. So, hello, fatigue. So, we really want to focus on balanced meals, our electrolytes, replenishing everything through our diet, nutrition, and especially our gut health. Now, got a few more for us, and stay tuned. I saved the best for last. We're going to talk about the holidays, but how can you stabilize hormones and cravings during perimenopause? So, protein every 3 to 4 hours is going to help balance your blood sugar. Don't over fast. Within 30 minutes of waking, get that first meal in. That's balance. It's going to really, really work on stabilizing your hormones. Choose strength training over cardio. Look at your fiber intake. Are we getting enough fiber in our diet, guys? Prioritize our magnesium, our zinc, our minerals in our diet. All of these things, when done consistently and over time, you're going to feel like a new woman. You're going to start transforming. And I have so many videos on my YouTube about this. So please make sure you head over to my YouTube, and you can go to my Iron Beauty playlist and just binge listen to it. Everything is podcast style. It's not like you have to sit there and watch a blog. You can listen to it while you are, cleaning the house. And then my last question I want to address today, this dog, Tank, is over here like trying to get every ounce of love while I'm working, right, Tanky? Yeah. Is, how do you stay on track during the holidays without restriction? This is huge. I did a whole training for my clients on this, and I want to give you 3 simple steps. Number 1 is anchor, like when it comes to the holidays, anchor every day with that protein. No matter if you're traveling, no matter if you have an event, start your day with your protein. I used to be the girl that would be like, okay, it's going to be, a holiday, so I'm going to starve myself all day and then just binge out on everything, the pierogies and you name it, guys. No, don't do that, because you're going to have more cravings because your blood sugar is going to crash, and then you are going to eat everything in the world and feel bad. Like, don't do that. The second key tip is, when you are eating that meal, eat in an order. Eat the protein first, then go towards the fiber, the vegetables, and eat the carbs last. Your protein works on your leptin and your ghrelin, which are your hunger and satiety hormones, and it's going to make you feel more full and satiated, so that by the time you hit the carb, you're not as hungry on it. Try it. And then another great tip would be, add in a 5 to 10-minute walk after your meals. It's going to really, really help with blood sugar stability, bringing your glucose into your cells so that you are actually burning more. You're helping with your digestion. You're becoming more insulin receptive into those cells as well, versus just laying down after that meal. And those are just 3 simple tips. I'm thinking of doing a bigger video on this, for you guys getting closer to the holidays, but I just wanted to hit on a few things now since we are going into the holidays. And if you guys are in this place where you're like, Elizabeth, I'm ready to go into 2026. I want to feel my best self, my strongest self, my most confident self, and I don't want to yo-yo back anymore. I want you to send me over that DM ready or drop a little. I'm going to put again everything in the description below. I'm launching my next 90-day whole body transformation. It is starting next week where I am accepting 10 new one-on-one clients to work with me. And this is very, very limited. Everything is personalized to my clients. We're going to be starting the second week of November. I'm going to be keeping you guys on track everything through the holidays and teaching you how to have the balance, how you can go through the holidays, show up at your events already down a few pounds, feeling sexy and confident in front of your family, but also have the balance so that you can eat the food. You know how to do it to where you're able to maintain your results. Because if you have the tools, then it shouldn't be hard. And that's a big thing. When my clients come to me, I want them to have lasting results. I don't want it to be every holiday event, party, and travel. They don't know what to do and they're off track. So if you're ready to show up at the holidays, feel confident, feel sexy, go into 2026 a few pounds down or building more muscle and having that body transformation that you wanted all along, don't wait till January. Just don't. Because I give my clients the tools now so that they're able to get there, stay there, and keep transforming into the new year. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining me today, and drop in the comments below if you have any specific questions that you would like me to address on my next live Q&A. Bye.